So I think all 4 days of all 4 days on division, this one is going to be your heaviest lift. And it's not because they don't understand the concept that we've done the days before of partial quotient, or because they can't divide those numbers. I think it's going to be because they're not really fluent with addition and subtraction. And so figuring out the parts of the numbers isn't going to be easy as the day before, right? The day before, they were dividing numbers like, 280, or splitting numbers like 280, right, into 280, right? Now, let's say I even want to divide a much smaller number, like 96 by 4, right? Dividing it into 90 and 6 isn't really going to do me any good. And so that's their challenge, is how are you going to divide 90 and 6? Now, my tip is that maybe they think about dividing it into some really basic multiples of 10. Like, as we start this off, right, the easiest way to do it is just going to be to divide it into 40 and 40. That's 80, right? And then we can basically like add up, and 16. That's going to make 96. Do you see what I'm saying? And so that's kind of the work we have to do, and there's not going to be one right way, right? Somebody might divide it as 80 and 16. Right? Somebody might divide it as, you could divide it into 8 and 8 and 8 and 8 and 8 a few times. Right? 8 and 8, 16, 32, 48. You could do it like that and divide that all by 4 if I'd have to keep going. You could do, all kinds of things. And so letting kids work like in a way that makes sense to them is definitely going to be, it's I think a challenging thing as a teacher. There's no one right way, but we can definitely offer some guidance. So let's give this a try. So on Monday, Justine had 12 cookies. She wanted to give them to her 3 friends so that they each have the same amount. On Tuesday, Justine gave another 12 cookies that she wanted to give to her 3 friends. How many cookies did Justine give to her friends on Monday and Tuesday? And so this is really like that money problem we did with Jason, right? I mean, in the end, Justine, 12 divided by 3 and 12 divided by 3, right? And that ends up giving us, 8. But what did we really do here? We really did 24 divided by 3. And so just like yesterday, and by the way, you need this like tie up, right? Like you do all this talking through the problem, and then you're not just like, let's do the next slide. There needs to be this thing like, remember, and the animation will come up, 12 divided by 3 and 12 divided by 3 is the same as 24 divided by 3. What that means is just like yesterday where we had big numbers that we could split up to divide, here we can split up these numbers to divide. And we didn't, by the way, this time, and you want to point this out, split it up as 20 and 4. We kind of split it up a different way, and that's our challenge today. So we know that we can use facts we know to find facts we don't know, and to help us make sense of this, let's always think about cookies and people. Oh, sorry, the animation was weird here. Just like it works in multiplication, it works in division too. Think about our story. Really, Justine did 24 divided by 3, but she did 12 divided by 3 on Monday and 12 divided by 3 on Tuesday. So you can think about this as cookies and people, right? Like if I had 24 cookies divided by 3, let's say they were oatmeal and chocolate chip. I could take all the 12 oatmeal and pass those out, and then I could take all the chocolate chip and pass those out. And so maybe that's an interesting analogy or a way to be thinking about it. All right, how do we show this with equations? What we did with Justine. 24 divided by 3 is 12 and 12 divided by 3. This means like 24 cookies, right? Shared by, sorry for my handwriting, by 3 people, right? And we could draw a picture of this where we took 24 and we split it up into 3. And you should do that work where you do that and you split it up just by dealing. You're going to end up with 8 in each group. Right, that's 8 cookies per person. Well, if we did 12 and 12 divided by 3, let's see how that looks. 12 divided by 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And let's do 12 divided by 3 in another color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Really, these are the same pictures. It's just instead of it all being red, it's red and blue, right? But here, it would just be 12 cookies shared by 3 people, and then 12 cookies shared by 3 people again. And now each person still gets 8. So I dwell a little bit on that because I really want the kids to have an anchor for why this is making sense. Okay? So let's solve 55 divided by 5, right? And you know what, you guys, I'm actually going to adjust this to make it 65, because 55 divided by 5, you can still use place value. Now, before, we could have used place value. We could have said 60 plus 5. But I don't know 60 divided by 5. And so maybe I'm going to use something different. Like, I could break this up into 50, right, plus 10 plus 5. That would be one way to do it, right? And then let's do our partial quotient. Or I could have broken it up into 50 plus 15, right? See if other kids have other ways that you could have broken it up. Do the partial quotient, you're going to get the same answer. So we're just going to start breaking this up. Now, big hint, right? If it's in the tens, it helps to use big multiples of 10 to break it up. Let's try this one. And then, you know, you're going to do like 30 and 12. Or maybe not, right? Like maybe you do 30 and 6 and 6. Like there are different ways to get at this. One of the things you want to have in your back pocket is if you don't know how to break it up mentally, then you have to go over to the side and start to subtract some pieces away, right? If I take the 30 out, that leaves me with 12. So I'm going to do 30 and 12, right? So that's something to have in your back pocket. Again, go to the partial quotient method, do the math. And so you can see, like, these are not different at all in the setup we did the day before. But breaking it up is a little bit harder because using the place value won't work, right? Be open to different strategies. Have subtraction in your back pocket as a tool for them checking what those pieces of 42 are, right? Or what those pieces of 65 might be. If I divide 50, how much do I have left to divide? In other words, here are my cookies that I want to share with 5 people. I've given away 50 of the cookies. I still have 15 cookies left. So maybe 50 are chocolate chip and I still have 15 oatmeal or whatever. And so that's the practice of this day.